Shwan, you're leaving the club. I imagine it's a very strange emotion that you're going through.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's one of those where it's going to take a while to sink in, because I've been here for 6 seasons, and it's I've made a lot of good friends for life, I'd like to think, and to leave such a great club that is going to obviously always remain a massive part of my life and always look out for how they're doing. It's going to be a strange one, but I feel proud and privileged to have played a part in this club's history, and obviously it's rise up the leagues as well.
Can you put into words what the last 6 years have been like?
I like to think it's just one word: successful. To achieve 2 promotions, a playoff, the Great Escape. That's 4 seasons out of 6, and I haven't played at all this season, but I like to think that I've played my part in behind the scenes in terms of training. I haven't missed a day's training. I've always been there for whenever needed. So I like to think that I've been a good servant to the club and done what's been asked of me.
Do you feel like one of those few people who's been there every step of the way? Obviously Eddie and Jason have been there, but if you look at people in the squad, it's only really sort of Joe Parsons and Jalen Stockley and yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that I feel very proud of. That when I came to this club, it was minus 17 points in League Two, and look at them now, and it's great to have that feeling. I remember when I first turned up and thinking, this is backs against the wall, but the people around here, the people in this building, have always had this club at heart, and I think that's been a really big factor in this club going forward.
Is there one moment that you can pick out as your favourite, or is it difficult because there have been so many? I imagine
there's been so many, but I think that day at Burton, to walk out, and there was never any doubt that we were going to do it. I think I made a save early in the first half, and to turn around and see that sea of red sort of clapping you and shouting your name, and then seeing Bretty put the ball in the net, and then Alan Connell finally finishing it off, and celebrating afterwards. I think those memories are just going to stay with you forever. I remember just sitting in the dugout with a bottle of champagne in one hand and a bottle of beer in the other, and just thinking, not a lot of players are going to get to experience this. So I think that's something that's really, really going to stay with me forever.
Do you classify yourself as a fan now? It certainly seems like the club's underneath your skin.
Yeah, in a way, it's been hard. It's been a hard season this year because I have been watching a lot from the stands. So you have almost turned into a fan. And my son's an avid fan. He absolutely loves Bournemouth. Every day it's Bournemouth. And I'd say it's for one of him to always pull out the DVDs and say, look, this is me playing for Bournemouth. So it's it will always be with me. I played for Woking before, and that was a club that was close to my heart, but I was only there for 2 years. But 6 years here, and to achieve what we've achieved has just been absolutely fantastic.
Who do you thank for the people who've been really influential in your time here?
There's been a lot of people. It's been a couple of teammates that I've been. You only have to look at Mark Pugh. He's been here for 4 years now, so I'd say I relate to him quite a lot. And but you look at one, the coach that stood out is Mossy. I've been with him for 5 years, and he's been a great help. I can count him as a friend off the pitch as well. So it's not just a working relationship. It's going to be very weird not getting that text the night before to say, Grims. He calls us Grims. To say, 10 o'clock start tomorrow. Be ready. And he'll say, give us a grading of how hard the session's going to be. So. That's going to be a weird one, but as I like to think that it'll be a friend for life, and obviously the management, the gaffer and JT, I can't speak highly enough of. It's been it's been one of those hard things where the manager's told you you're not going to be a part of the team going forward, but I think that's one thing that he's got in abundance, that you still have a huge respect for him, and you still admire what he can do and what he gets out of his players, and I don't think a lot of players that have played for him will, I can't speak for people at Burnley, but to hear will have a bad word to say about him, because I firmly believe that he will be managing at the Summit To be honest, I just think I can't speak highly enough of him, really.
And I imagine you wish everybody here well for the future, and that includes the fans as well.
Yeah, I mean, the fans have been absolutely terrific for me. The relationship I got with people in the Steve Fletcher stand, I think that's also a memory. He's running out every game, and them chanting my name has just been a huge honour, and the support that I've had in every game playing there, I will always take forward with me. The only times that it really hurt was over the contract saga, where there was a lot of things said that were untrue. I just wanted to go on the record and state that it was never my intention to leave. Can only speak for myself to say, rumours of X, Y, and Z pounds being demanded was never on the agenda. I'll always remain a huge fan of this club, and wish it the best going forward.